Picture this, a 10-year-old kid, swimming in an oversized royal robe that's sliding off his shoulders, clinging for dear life to a jade seal. And that seal still has bite marks from the last child emperor who got axed, well, poisoned, for messing with the wrong person. That's Liu Hong, history's Emperor Shao II of China's Han Dynasty. His life wasn't a grand tale of kingship. It was like being cast in an ancient Chinese reality show where the prize was a crown and the penalty was death. Let's break it down like we're chatting over coffee, no fancy history jargon, just the wild, sad, relatable chaos. Liu Hong didn't get to pick his own name, let alone his job. Born Liu Shun, he was one of Emperor Hui's many kids, with a random palace maid, total background character energy, like an extra in a Shakespeare play who never gets a line. But then came Empress Lü, the real power behind the throne. Think of her as China's version of Cleopatra, but with more family drama and less romance. She looked at this quiet, unassuming kid and thought, jackpot, he's easier to control than a toddler with a lollipop. First, she renamed him Liu Yi and made him a prince after the previous prince died super mysteriously. Spoiler, it wasn't a cold. Then, in 184 BCE, the last child emperor, Liu Hong, made the fatal mistake of talking back to Empress Lü like a teen sassing their strict mom, and she had him locked up and poisoned. Overnight, Liu Yi got a promotion to emperor, and another name change, Liu Hong. Oh, and Empress Lü lied about his age, said he was 12 instead of 10, because nothing says legitimate ruler like pretending your kid is older to avoid looking like a dress-up session. His coronation was pure slapstick. Standing in front of all the ministers, his tiny hands could barely lift the heavy jade seal. Those bite marks? From Liu Hong, who chewed it in anger before he died. Relatable, honestly. Behind a silk curtain, Empress Lü was pulling the strings, literally. She'd yank his robe to remind him, bow now. Mumble approved. The ministers knelt, but they weren't looking at Liu Hong, they were staring at the curtain, like students pretending to listen to the substitute teacher, while the real boss lurks in the back. Everyone knew the kid on the throne was just a prop. The lady pulling the strings was the one calling the shots. For 4 years, 184–180 BCE, Liu Hong was a ghost with a crown, like King Charles, before he actually became king, but with way more danger and way less tea. Empress Lü ran the show, using the title Empress Dowager to do whatever she wanted, including breaking Emperor Gaozu's sacred rule, no one who's not a Liu gets to be a king. It's like if Queen Elizabeth had ignored the line of succession and made her cousin a Duke of London. She stuffed the government with her family, her nephews ran the army, think of them as the Lannisters of ancient China, power-hungry and everywhere. Her cousins got fancy lands, and Liu Hong? He just sat there, smiling and nodding like he knew what was going on. His personal life was even more cringe. At 12, Empress Lü forced him to marry his cousin, her nephew's daughter. This wasn't a fairy tale wedding. It was a spy mission. His new wife brought her own servants, who reported every single thing he said, like having a roommate who's also your mom's snitch. Once, he grumbled that his soup was too salty. We've all been there. Next day, his entire kitchen staff was fired, and Empress Lü snapped, quit complaining about dinner, focus on being a good emperor. After that, Liu Hong learned to zip it. Even sighing felt like risking a death sentence, like complaining about your boss on Slack when you know they're reading every message. By 14, he was terrified. He'd watched Empress Lü starve one prince to death, yep, starvation, brutal, and drive another to suicide. So he tried a Hail Mary, like a character in House of the Dragon, making a risky alliance. He snuck a meeting with Liu Ze, a distant uncle from the royal family, begging for help. But someone ratted him out to Empress Lü. Snitches get, well, in this case, the snitch probably got a promotion. Instead of killing him right away, she sent him tonic that made him convulse in pain, like a villain in a James Bond movie poisoning a drink. Rest up, she sneered when she visited. You're too weak for politics. It was a warning he never forgot, kind of like when your mom says, "We'll talk later," and you know you're doomed. When Empress Lü died in 180 BCE, all hell broke loose, like the Red Wedding, but with more swords and less wedding cake. Ministers Zhou Bo and Chen Ping teamed up with the Liu clan to wipe out the entire Lü family, men, women, kids, everyone. It was a total purge, no mercy. But there was a problem: Liu Hong. If he was Emperor Hui's real son, then the minister's coup was treason, like if a group of lords killed the queen and then tried to claim the prince was illegitimate. So they made up a lie so big, it stuck for 2,000 years. Liu Hong and his brothers aren't real princes. Empress Lü stole them from regular families, killed their moms, and pretended they were hers. That night, soldiers dragged Liu Hong out of bed, still in his pajamas, confused and scared. "What did I do wrong?" he cried. The soldier just said, "You're not fit to be emperor." It's like getting kicked off a reality show for no reason, but with way higher stakes. He was locked up in a small palace with his brothers. Huddled in the dark, Liu Hong tried to stay positive. "They're just scared of the Lü family, we'll go home at dawn." But dawn never came. Soldiers burst in and killed all of them. History just wrote 3 words: killed at night, short, cold, and brutal, like a tweet that erases someone's legacy. Here's the tea: that fake kid's story? Total propaganda, like when a politician lies to win an election. But on a historical scale. Modern historians think it's a lie made up to make Emperor Wen, who took the throne next, look legitimate. Empress Lü had no reason to replace her own grandson with random kids. Why go through all that trouble? And killing all of Emperor Hui's sons meant no one could challenge Emperor Wen's rule, like eliminating all your competitors before a race. Liu Hong was erased from history. No fancy tomb, no cool title, not even a spot in the official list of emperors. He's just a footnote, a reminder that in power games, even kings are disposable, like a pawn in chess. But his story isn't just sad, it's wild. A kid who got stuck in a grown-up war, whose name, wife, and life were all controlled by others. It's like if Harry Potter had been raised by Voldemort and forced to be a puppet wizard king, except way more ancient and way less magical. In the end, Liu Hong's death paved the way for the rule of Wen and Jing, a golden age of peace and prosperity, like the Pax Romana but in China. His blood cleaned up the mess of the Lü clan, letting Emperor Wen fix the country and make life better for everyone. But for the 10-year-old who wore an oversized robe and held a bite-marked seal, there was no happy ending. Just a life that was never his own, and a death that history tried to forget. So next time you think your life is out of control, remember Liu Hong, the kid who became emperor by accident, lost everything because of politics, and got written out of history for a lie. It could always be worse. You could be a puppet emperor in ancient China.